Hey guys, it's Jason here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be unboxing an Arrma Typhon. Now I picked this up, guys. I'm going to be flat out honest here. It was on sale here in Canada. I think they retail around for about $4.69 in there somewhere. And I picked this guys up, I think for $3.19 or $3.29, which was really nice, guys, because obviously saving money is great, but it also allowed me to put that money towards a couple other things that I wanted for it. In this video, we're going to unbox it. We're going to quickly go over it. By now, my guess is if you're watching this video, you either probably have owned one, still own one, know somebody that's owned one, or at least has seen one. I have not. I have my Infraction 3S. I have my Outcast 4S. I did have a version 2 Big Rock many years ago, but this is the first time I've ever had a 3S Typhon. So I'm kind of excited to check it out. I've had the 6S Typhons, but again, I've never had the 3S Typhon. What we're going to do, like I was just saying, guys, we're going to get out of the box and I'm going to talk about, guys, why I picked this up and my plans for it. This is kind of more of a fun sort of project buggy than actually enjoying the truck the way it is out of the box. Now, obviously, guys, I'm going to run it. I do have a set of paddles, buggy paddles way up there. But again, guys, I've got kind of a different sort of setup, a different way that I want to kind of use this buggy. And I think it's going to be really cool. I haven't seen anybody do what I'm going to do with it. So I don't even know if it's going to work. To be honest, guys, I probably should have done more research. I did not do that. I kind of was just like, oh, this would be really cool. Hey, look, it's on sale, and boom, bought it, and it was delivered. So anyways, guys, let's get on to the 3S. All right, guys, I got the buggy out of the box, and my first thought, so the immediate thing that came to my mind when I was taking it out of the box was how light it is. You're used to picking up an 8-scale buggy, and it's heavy. It's, you know, aluminum chassis, aluminum shock towers, big beefy diffs, all that kind of stuff. And guys, going back as far as I can remember, I think one of the first 1/8 scale buggies I had was an HPI Vorza, and again, it was a beefy. Like, don't get me wrong, guys, there's nothing wrong with that. They're beefy, but they're also very heavy. And again, guys, with what I want to do with this buggy, I was actually going for something lighter. I didn't want all the weight of a 1/8 scale buggy. Now, going along with that, once I got it on the bench and I took the film off, it's really cool to see a 1/8 scale buggy in a 3S platform. Usually 3S vehicles, for the most part, are usually smaller, excluding, let's say, some of the short course trucks. That this just looks really neat. And surprisingly, guys, the body, even though it looks very RTR in any picture or anything you see, when you actually get it out, it looks pretty good. It's got some pretty cool details. It's got a lot of nice lines in it and stuff like that that usually you don't see or don't come across in pictures. And it surprisingly, guys, looks really good. I was kind of shocked. Not saying that at some point, you know, I won't want to pick up an aftermarket body or just a clear body and paint it myself or something like that. But surprisingly, guys, the stock 3S body looks really good. My only, so far, guys, the only thing negative, and I feel like every time I look at the 3S lineup, it just jumps out at me, is the plastic shocks. This thing does feel really good. I like the way, you know, it maybe a little bit soft, guys, but again, for what I'm going to be doing with it, it should be fine. I like the fact that when you put this buggy right down, you push it down flat, you have a lot of travel left on that shock. Like, that, guys, is crazy. So I've got it all the way down. Now, obviously, guys, these are not very big wheels and tires, but still, you got a lot of travel there. That, guys, again, my only gripe. I've always just thought this right here is ugly. And I know Hot Racing makes a body cap replacement. Proline has a full shock. My issue with the Pro lines is that because they're so expensive, I think they're like $90 a pair or $80 a pair here in Canada, that if you're going to dump $200 into this, you're now basically almost taking it into the 6S category. And again, for me, guys, I was going for something lighter, but it would be hard for me to dump $200 just to put shocks on this thing right now. So I will deal with the stock ones, even though I think they look really ugly. I have seen a few on eBay and stuff like that that I may look at replacing. I know that might seem, guys, kind of ridiculous, but I don't know. I don't like it. I find this whole buggy looks really good. The body looks good. The wheels and tires look good. The wing looks good. It's just this. It's this part right here. I even think if this cap was black, it would probably just make it look not as 3S beginner sort of thing as, I don't know. Anyways, guys, that's just, I know, very, very juvenile, kind of went off topic there a little bit too long. Again, that's my only issue, is those red caps. All right, guys, underneath the body, you have a 101 ounce servo, which I think, guys, will be fine with these skinny little wheels and tires. Going into maybe something like a 2.8 or a little bit beefier, maybe at some point we'll want to replace that. You got the BLX 100 amp ESC, good for 2 and 3S. 3200 kV motor. You have the heatsink and fan, which is kind of nice right out of the box. Arrma's been kind of doing that now with a lot of their vehicles. I really like their heatsinks. They cover a lot of the motor. They got a lot of fins. So again, even, you know, in the winter, you may pull the fan in the winter just because the last thing you want is snow sitting on here and clogging up the fan and burning it out. So if you happen to just unplug, remove the fan, the actual heatsink itself is still going to, you know, pull a lot of that heat off, and I think you'll be pretty good to go there. One thing, guys, that made me very interested in this buggy, besides, guys, from the price, I'm not going to I'm not going to fade off that topic, guys, because in my opinion, this buggy at $300 and whatever it was, $29, is a massive bargain, because you get one fantastic platform right out of the box. Even, guys, at $469 compared to some of the other companies' 3S vehicles, this thing still, in my opinion, guys, is still an awesome price point. But hey, if you can get it on sale, even better. But what I was going to get to there, guys, was the battery. I'm pretty sure I talked about this, guys, in one of my other videos, that I have 4 of these Genzace Advanced Series 3S 6500s. And they are a big battery. They are long. So even, guys, before I got this battery in here, I did it off screen. I had to pull the 2 little kind of spacer things, or I guess they're not really spacers, little fitment things on each end of the battery tray so that this battery could drop in. Which is kind of one thing, guys, that is a bit of a bummer, is even though I'm interested in something like the Arrma Vortex or the Granite, these batteries won't fit in. And for some of you, you might be thinking, well, just buy another battery. Well, no. Again, I got 4 of these things and I'd like to use them. So I like the fact that on the Typhon, the Sentin, I think the Big Rock as well, I can use these batteries. And to the point, guys, that I may actually pick up another one. Not a Typhon, but maybe either a Sentin or a Big Rock. Let me know in the comments what you think of those two. I kind of really like the look of the Sentin. I really like the look of the body and all that stuff. But then I kind of like the fact that the Big Rock's got the wider arms and all that kind of stuff. Overall, guys, there it is. 3S Typhon. I feel like if I was to ramble on forever and ever in this video about this buggy, most people would be like, hey, we've heard it all before, because I've heard it, guys. I have watched a lot of videos on this buggy. Last winter, at the start of the winter, I started looking at this buggy because there was something I wanted to do. And what I'm going to quickly do, guys, right now is show you what I have for it and the reason, excluding the price, all that stuff, the main reason I bought this buggy. All right, we are going to be doing this, guys, in another video. We're going to be covering everything more into a lot details, the install and all that stuff in another video. But in front of you is what I've got going on. So anybody that's watched any of the videos I've done so far, guys, in the winter and running on snow, I often talk about having paddles in the rear and not having them in the front. Quickly kind of explaining this to you guys is, when you've got paddles in both the front and the rear, and especially, guys, in a vehicle like this that's low profile, you're not going to be in a really deep snow. What happens is, as you're ripping along, these front paddles are scooping up all the snow. They're getting rid of all the snow. And then when this buggy's kind of blasted in like this, it's, you know, it's going to be squatting, power's going to the rear. These back tires are going to come over, and these front ones have flung all the snow away, which means these ones don't have as much to hook up. I've seen it happen, guys. I had a Stampede 4x4 that I built one time, way like a long time ago before YouTube, and that's exactly what happened. I went out one night to try it. It was late. I thought this is going to be awesome, and the truck just didn't perform. I came inside, I ripped off the front paddles, and I actually threw like a really weird 2.8 that I had, because the stock ones on a brushed Stampede were the kind of like the V-tread, and those actually would do a pretty good job of scooping snow. So I went to this kind of really bald looking weird 2.8 that I had, and the truck ended up being a blast. In front of you, I have my plan. So my plan is this: short course DeMont tires. So these are the DeMont paddles. I have these for my 5th scales, my 8 scales. These are obviously, guys, the short course version. Now, if you're wondering why did I buy the short course version tires, that is because I wanted these. And again, guys, we're going to be opening these up in another video, but these are the rib, that's what they call them, Demont. So you can see, guys, right here, I'll kind of quickly show you guys in the package. They don't have the big paddles. If anything, guys, they have, you know, this little groove here, and they've got little kind of mini paddles. I don't know if you guys can really see that. But again, guys, we're going to be opening these up in another video. I would have liked to have seen more of a Mohawk tire where it's just a Mohawk, but this was as close as I could get. So I'm hoping that these will not scoop up as much snow. Now, that's fine and dandy, but wait, there's more. Sound like an info commercial. Everybody's got one of these things. These allow you to run whatever pinion you want. I'll probably stick, guys, with the 15 tooth that it comes with for right now, only because of the snow and scooping up does add. It's a lot of pressure on the motor because you're not just spinning. Even though you're spinning in the snow, you're also scooping up a lot of snow. So it does add, it can add a lot of heat. It can change things up. So I'm going to stick with the 15 tooth for now. But here is where it gets neat. And I'm just wondering, by showing you this, if anybody at this point right now knows where I'm going with this. So yes, this is a spool. This will get rid of the slipper and all that stuff and lock the front and the rear. Now, if you're wondering why would I do that? Well, my plan, and I'm assuming, guys, it's possible, is to completely remove the drive shaft. I don't think I will gut the front diff or anything like that yet, but my plan is, guys, is to remove the drive shaft, making this buggy rear-wheel drive only. Now, if you're thinking, hey, why didn't you just buy one of the new trucks that they have out that are already two-wheel drive? Well, I got this for the same price as those. So in the summer, I'm still going to have a four-wheel drive buggy. I'm still going to be having a lot of fun. But my plan is, guys, is that by having the spool, getting rid of the front drive, only powering the rear wheels, and having these tires on the front, this thing should be awesome. It should perform amazing because you're not going to be scooping up and throwing snow in the front. All your power is going to be going to the rear. I kind of feel like with these tires, if I left it four-wheel drive, I don't think it would be too bad because let's face it, the tires are also always turning. So they're always going to be spinning somewhat, but not having the full-on, all of a sudden, you know, kind of massive torque, massive speed to really spin the tire, I'm hoping is going to just make this thing fly. I don't know, guys. It's something that I've wanted to do for a really, really long time. And a lot of the vehicles that I'd thought about doing this with were expensive. And, you know, the one thing is if you do this and it doesn't work out and you do it with an expensive vehicle, that can be kind of a bummer. Getting the Typhon for the price that I got, again, guys, allowed me to pick up all the tires, this, the heatsink, as well as, guys, the 17 mil adapters that I need. Big thanks to DeMarco Daniels for sending me out this 7075 spool. It's from OKT's Bumper. This, guys, is going to be a great piece because this is sort of one of the main pieces to this buggy, is that by removing the front drive shaft and locking the rear, again, I'm going to be sending all my power to the rear and hopefully, guys, keeping, again, these front tires from spinning too much. All right, so I know this is kind of a bit of a weird unboxing. Usually I just unbox, kind of go over all the details, but I wanted to show you guys all that with my plans for the buggy because genuinely, guys, that is why I bought this buggy. I bought it because I've always wanted to do that kind of a setup with the paddles and more of a rib tire in the front. But a few of the things, guys, that I think are going to be cool on this buggy is that I have the 3900 kV that's in the infraction that I might try in this, as well as I have the 2400 kV out of the Outcast 4S. So if I decided I wanted to kind of swap up the ESC motors, I could do that as well. Now, another setup, guys, I may try in this truck, besides from the other Arrma ESCs and motors I have, is that I do have this. This is the 4S ESC out of my Corelli Skeeter. So I think it's something like 120 or 130 amps. And I've also, guys, got this gorgeous 2150 kV motor that I could drop in here. And again, guys, just playing with configurations. Obviously, being that this is the 3200 kV, running it on 3S does give me some pretty good RPMs. But running something like that 2150 or the 2400 out of the Outcast with the hot racing motor plate and being able to gear up quite a bit, that might be something to try too. Either way, that'll just be something, guys, in many, many videos later on. Right now, the biggest thing for me is probably getting out, guys, and just running the buggy, maybe throwing the buggy paddles on it, kind of just checking it out, see how it is stock. And then we're going to get on to, guys, my plan, which is running those short course tires and all that kind of fun stuff. All right, I hope you enjoyed this unboxing slash first impressions slash my kind of idea for the buggy sort of video. I didn't want to just do, guys, like an unboxing because, again, you've seen this buggy. Lots of people own them. A lot of people have done great unboxings. So for me, I just wanted to kind of give you guys sort of the gist of the buggy, but then also talk about my plans for it. I'm looking forward, guys, to probably the next video. What we're going to do is we're going to run full paddles. So even though I've kind of went in this video and talked about running, you know, paddles on all four corners is bad, I do have a set of, I don't even know what they are, Reaper or Repex or Ropex or something like that, paddles over there. So I may take the buggy out with the paddles on all four corners just to see what it's like, so that when we go to running the rear only with those rib tires in the front, we'll be able to really see how it performs and see how different it is. And then, guys, obviously going to the locker and removing the four-wheel drive as well. So there's going to be, guys, like I've mentioned already, there's going to be a lot of different things with this buggy, a lot of fun things I'm going to do. And you know what? If at the end of the day, certain things don't work out for me, if, for example, let's say running those rib tires on the front, removing the four-wheel drive doesn't work out, then you know what? That spool gear will be able to go on my infraction, and those tires themselves may end up on a short course truck if I pick up a Sentin or something like that in the future. So you know what, guys, overall this is just going to be a lot of fun. See how it performs, trying the different ACs, trying the different motors, trying different tires, and just using, guys, the Typhon, because out of the box this is such a fantastic platform, especially, guys, in my opinion, with being that it's winter time, you want to keep the weight down. The last thing you want is a heavy buggy on snow, because it's just going to sink. And I'm looking to build something that hopefully will just kind of skim across and rip it around and throw the powder everywhere. So, guys, again, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. Please subscribe and have a great day.